Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddhang, buddhang, buddhang vande. Dhammang, dhammang, dhamman vande. Sanghang, sanghang, sanghang vande. Buddhang, dhammang, sanghang vande. Homage to the Exalted One, the Buddha. Homage to the Dhamma, the teachings of the Supreme Buddha. Homage to the Sangha, the noble disciples of the Supreme Buddha. Homage to the Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sambha papassa akaranam kusalassa upasampadam sachinta pariyodapanam etang buddhana sasanam. Not to do any evil, practicing good deeds, purifying one's mind. This is the message of the Buddhas. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Venerable members of the Mahasangha, friends in Dhamma, dear children, all of you are warmly welcome to this Dhamma session conducted by the Bhavana Society, West Virginia. Especially, I respect Bhante Ji and Bhante Saddhajiva and other monks of the Bhavana Society, West Virginia. At this program, I hope to explain some main doctrines in Buddhism. Especially, as you know the topic today, I am going to explain Buddhist Gpa, Grade Point Average, Buddhist IQ, Intelligent Quotient, Buddhist EQ, Emotional Quotient or Emotional Intelligence, and finally I will explain Buddhist SMS, short message, SMS. This is new interpretation given by me, arranging and collecting some very valuable doctrines in Buddhism, what the Blessed One explained. At the beginning of this session, I would like to introduce a meditation technique to purify our mind at this moment. I think it is very important to start this program. I think all of you are very familiar with loving kindness meditation, Metta Bhavana. When we practice Metta Bhavana, our mind is so pure and calm, and also our mind gains concentration at the moment. Practicing loving kindness meditation is very easy to conduct a Dhamma program because our mind is so pure and calm. We can directly focus our mind on what the Buddha taught. Therefore, dear children, please get ready for a short meditation session for a few minutes and sit in the chair that you are here. It doesn't matter where you are in. Please get ready for sitting meditation, silent meditation for a few minutes, slowly, mindfully, and silently we participate in practicing loving kindness meditation at this moment. Okay, please prepare your body for sitting meditation, dear children. Okay, please straighten your body. Close your eyes gently. Please keep your right hand on the left hand. Please be aware of your body posture that you are sitting here. From your legs to head and from your head to legs. Now you can feel that you are breathing in and out. Please keep your attention near the nose or upper lip in the present moment. Now I don't think my past or future. I directly keep my attention in the present moment. At the same time, I am going to spread loving kindness thoughts to everyone, those who are in this world. First of all, I practice loving kindness for everyone who is at my home. Then I spread loving kindness thoughts to everyone around me in this world. May all beings at this home be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings at this home be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this city be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this county be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this state, West Virginia, and wherever you are in the state, be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings in this country, the USA, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this continent be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this earth be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this solar system be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this solar system be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this galaxy, the Milky Way, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this universe be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. I see all over the world like my brothers and sisters. I see all over the world like my family, like my friends. I am friendly with everyone in this world. I have no enemies. I am friendly with everyone. I spread loving kindness thoughts to everyone, those who are in this universe. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Venerable members of the Mahasangha, friends in Dhamma, dear devotees, dear children, I am very happy to meet you. At this moment, we are going to discuss some doctrines in Buddhism. Our topic is Buddhist Gpa, Buddhist Iq, and Buddhist Eq or EI. Finally, I will explain Buddhist SMS too. This is new interpretation to Buddhist doctrines that Buddha has explained. Buddhist Gpa, Great Point Average, means the Buddhist knowledge. What is the highest knowledge that we can gain through listening to what Buddha taught? Highest knowledge that Buddha has explained as Samadhiti. The second one is Buddhist IQ, intelligent quotient. What is the highest skill that we can gain in this life by practicing Dhamma? Then I will explain Buddhist EQ or EI, emotional intelligence. You know, Dr. Daniel Goleman has explained very new theory in psychology, emotional intelligence. He has explained 5 qualities that a good personality has. There are 5 qualities: self-awareness, self-regulation, inner motivation, empathy, and social skills or communication skills. Do you remember these 5 things in emotional intelligence? Self-awareness, self-regulation, inner motivation, empathy, and social skills or communication skills. There are 5 qualities we can see in the field of emotional intelligence. We will explain that this very special theory in Buddhism. And also finally I will explain Buddhist SMS. The very first S means slowly. The second one is mindfully and silently. Slowly, mindfully, silently. This is the Buddhist SMS. When we have Buddhist knowledge, understanding, Buddhist grade point average, we will develop our skills, Buddhist IQ. When we practice Buddhist IQ, intelligent quotient, then we live in Buddhist emotional intelligence, emotional quotient with 5 skills. Finally, we achieve some skills, we achieve some achievements, fulfillment with the understanding of the Dhamma, Buddhist SMS. This is summary that we are going to explain. First of all, I would like to explain a very special stanza in Buddhism, the summary of Buddhism, that all Buddhas explain. Sabba papa sakaranang kusala upasampada sacitta pariyodapanam etang buddhana sasanam. Sabba papa sakaranam, not to do any evil. Kusala upasampada, practicing good deeds. Sacitta pariyodapanam, purifying one's mind. Etang buddhana sasanam. This is the message of the all Buddhas who appear in this world. You know, when someone asks you, what is your religion or philosophy that you practice? And let me know please, what is the theory, what is the summary of your practice? Then this is the answer that you can explain. This is the summary of Buddhism. When someone asks you what Buddhism is, you can say Buddhism means sabba papa sakaranang, not to do any evil, kusala upasampada, practicing good, sacitta pariyodapanam, purifying one's mind. Etang buddhana sasanang, this is the message of the Buddha. Okay, dear children, now I think you can understand what Buddhism is in short. This is the Buddhism in nutshell. What Buddhism is? That not to do any evil, physically or verbally. Abstaining from killing beings, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. These are the things that we can discipline our body or action. Then we discipline our speech, verbal behavior. Little by little we can go forward, abstaining from foolish speech, abstaining from harsh words, abstaining from useless words, abstaining from malicious words. This is the discipline in our speech. We abstain from these negative actions from our life. This is not to do any evil, physically or verbally. Then kusala upasambada, practicing good deeds. Dear children, I think you know the 3 meritorious deeds in Buddhism. Have you heard it? When you are listening to Dhamma, Bhante explained the 3 meritorious deeds in Buddhism, what the Buddha explained. Dana, Sila and Bhavana. Practicing generosity, practicing virtue or moral conduct, and practicing meditation or mental culture. Okay, dear children, do you remember it? 3 meritorious deeds in Buddhism. Dana, in Pali language, Dana means generosity, sharing something with others. That is the very first meritorious deed that we can practice to purify our mind. The second one is Sila. Sila means virtue or moral conduct, discipline in our speech and behavior. Sila. The third meritorious deed is meditation or mental culture, especially practicing loving kindness meditation. As the result of listening to what the Buddha taught, we practice these 3 things as kusala upasampada, practicing good deeds. Why do we need to do these activities? Buddha says these meritorious deeds in his words in Pali, Chitta Alankarang, Chitta Parikarang. Practicing 3 meritorious means decorating our mind, giving gifts to our mind, giving food for our mind. That is why we should need to practice these meritorious deeds. You know, we usually do many things to decorate our body, our clothes, our home, our vehicle. We do a lot of things to decorate, but we don't care about our mind. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of decorating our mind. This is the way how we can decorate our mind. Kusala upasambada. You know, when you offer something to others, when you worship your parents, when you take care of someone, when you help someone, then your mind is so pure and calm. Your mind has no negative thoughts at the moment. Then you can see the beauty of your life. That is why we need to do the good deeds in our day-to-day life. The third one, Sajitta Paryodapanam. It has a deep meaning. Cleanse our mind. Purify our mind. How do we purify our mind? By practicing meditation. Meditation can be divided into 2. Dear children, do you know there are 2 meditation techniques in Buddhism? One of them is Samatha Bhavana. Samatha Bhavana means concentration meditation. The second one is Vipassana Bhavana, insight meditation, reflecting on impermanence. The concentration meditation means focusing our mind in the present moment and contemplating a spiritual meditation technique. And also Vipassana Bhavana means we contemplate on the world reality as it is, impermanence. Every moment my mind changes, my body also changes. That belongs to insight meditation or Vipassana Bhavana. Etang Buddhana Sasanam. This is the message of the Buddha. You know our present Buddha's name? In this dispensation, our Buddha's name is Gautama or Gautama. This message is not only our Gautama Buddha, but all the Buddhas who appeared in the past, who will appear in the future. All the Buddhas explain this poem, stanza, gatha in the same way. Therefore, dear children, you should learn by heart this stanza. That is very important. This is a very powerful gatha, stanza, verse or poem in Buddhism. Let's repeat it. Sambha papassa akaranam kusalassa upasampadam Sachinta pariyodapanam etang buddhana sasanam. Again. Sambha papassa akaranam kusalassa upasampadam Sachitta pariyodapanam etang buddhana sasanam. Again please. Sambha papassa akaranam kusalassa upasampadam Sachitta pariyodapanam etang buddhana sasanam. The meaning of this stanza is that Sabba papa sakaranang, not to do any evil, physically or verbally. Kusala supasampada, practicing good deeds as generosity, virtue, and metta bhavana, loving kindness meditation. Sachitta pariyodapanang, purifying one's mind. Etang buddhana sasanam, this is the message of the all Buddhas who appear in this world. Dear children, if you can learn and remember and learn by heart this stanza, it means you have 75 marks in this lesson, in this sermon. Okay, be sure. I kindly invite you to learn by heart this stanza, having helps from your parents and Bantes. Okay, dear children, I wish you all the best. Now we are going to our next part of this sermon. As you know, the topic is Buddhist Gpa, Grade Point Average, Buddhist IQ, Buddhist Intelligent Quotient, Buddhist EQ, or Buddhist Emotional Intelligence or Emotional Quotient. And finally, I will explain Buddhist SMS. It means slowly, mindfully, silently. If we want to see the beauty of our life, our mind should be calm and quiet. Then we gradually become the SMS. We receive SMS to our cell phone. What is that? Slowly, mindfully, silently. When we understand our life and the world, we do everything slowly, mindfully, and silently. This is the nature of our real happiness, inner peace, supreme happiness, what the Buddha explained. Okay, dear children, friends in Dhamma, now I am going to explain Buddhist Gpa, Grade Point Average, little by little. It means the Buddhist education. What is the highest Buddhist education? It means Samadhiti or right understanding. Right understanding is the Buddhist Grade Point Average. Right understanding means how we see the world. What is the reality in this world? What is the highest understanding, knowledge that we can gain throughout listening to Dhamma with the association of good friendship? Here it is very important to understand from the beginning to end. Buddha has explained we should have 4 qualities that we should achieve and gain and develop day by day. You have to remember those 4 facts, 4 things. What they are? Kalyana Mitta, associate in good friends, the first one. The second one, Saddhamma Savana, listening to Dhamma. The third one is Yoniso Manasikara, wise consideration or wise reflection. And fourth one is Patipada or practice. These 4 qualities we should gain and develop from beginning to end on the path of liberation. What they are? Associate in good friends, listening to Dhamma, wise consideration, and practice. Here we are talking about Buddhist Gpa. Buddhist Gpa means the highest knowledge that we can gain throughout listening to Dhamma, what the Supreme Buddha explained for 45 years with his supramundane knowledge. You know, Bodhisattva, the Siddhartha Bodhisattva attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India. He realized the world. He understood what the world is, and his knowledge belongs to this GPA, Grade Point Average. This is said in Buddhism as Samadhiti or right understanding. The Blessed One says Samadhiti or right understanding can be divided into 2. What they are? Dear children, be aware of what you are hearing here, what you are listening to here. End of the sermon, I will ask you, now you are learning Buddhist GPA, Buddhist Grade Point Average. As a Buddhist, not only as a Buddhist, but a very wise person, you can learn in this world. The highest knowledge is that Samadhiti or right understanding. The very first stage of right understanding is that understanding the Karmic Law. Understanding the Karmic Law, this is an eternal truth in this world. What is the meaning of Samadhiti in Kamma Sakata Samadhiti? The knowledge of karma means whatever we do with intention, physically, verbally or mentally, we will have the same results. This is an eternal truth. When our mind is polluted, then our actions are impure, then results are impure and negative. When our mind is pure, then our activities are correct and results are fruitful. This is the first understanding, first knowledge, the first step of Buddhist education that you can gain throughout listening to Dhamma, what the Exalted One explained. Dear children, now you know the first part of GPA, Grade Point Average, the understanding of the Karmic Law. Okay? My dear children, can you remember the first part of the GPA? Understanding the Karmic Law. Whatever we do with intention, we will have the same results. When mind is polluted, then results are negative. When mind is pure, the results are fruitful or good, positive. What is the second understanding of the GPA? Buddhist education. Dear children, you are so wise. Don't worry, you can understand this reality. In Buddha's time, there were some children who were at the age of 7. They could attain the very first stage of liberation, Sotapanna, stream entry. Not only in the Buddha's period, now even present, world, I think sometimes you have seen there are some children at the age of 4 or 5. They explain the very deep topics in Buddhism. You are also very wise, I know. You can learn very well and you have good friendship. Your parents always encourage you. You can study very well. You have language skills. Therefore, you are able to understand what the Buddha taught. Okay? The second part of the Buddhist Gpa or Samadhiti is that understanding the Four Noble Truths. Understanding the Four Noble Truths is the second part of Buddhist Gpa, Grade Point Average. What is the first part of Buddhist Gpa? Understanding the Karmic Law. What is the second part of Buddhist Gpa? Understanding the Four Noble Truths, or understanding the dependent origination, Paticcasamuppada, or understanding the Panchaskandha or 5 aggregates. Okay, dear children, now you can increase your education, knowledge, little by little. You are so fortunate. First of all, we learned the Buddhist Gpa. The first part of Buddhist Gpa is that understanding the Karmic Law. The second part of Buddhist Gpa is that understanding the Four Noble Truths, which is the heart of Buddhism. As Buddhists, the highest knowledge we can gain is that understanding the Four Noble Truths. If we can understand one truth, it helps us to understand other 3 noble truths too. What is the noble truth of suffering? I think you have heard Jatipi dukkha, Jarapi dukkha, Vyadipi dukkha, Maranampi dukkha, like that. Aging is suffering, sickness is suffering, death is suffering, separation from beloved ones is suffering, associating with what we don't like is suffering. These are the suffering in the very primary level. But when we go to the deeper level, Buddha explains the noble truth of suffering. It means, dear children, when we have experienced something, we get experience through our 6 senses, through our eye, through our nose, through our ear, through our tongue, through our body, through our mind. We get some experience from outside. When we see something, when we hear something, when we smell something, when we taste something, when we touch something, the very first experience is that the noble truth of suffering. The very first experience is very instant. That is the result of our previous action. That arises and ceases very soon. And when we understand something, dear children, please carefully pay your attention to this message. When our internal senses contact something, that very first experience belongs to the noble truth of suffering. But it is very instant and it ceases very soon. And when we recognize something, we understand something through our mind after the first experience has ceased. If we have no clear understanding about this pattern, we think just now I see something, I hear something, I smell something. But this is not the reality. The truth, the reality is that when we see something and when we recognize something, seeing something, the very first experience has already ceased. We experience something not with our eye consciousness, but through our mind consciousness. Then we don't go to the ignorance or delusion because of mindfulness and wisdom. We suddenly understand, now I see, I hear, I taste, I smell, I touch something through my mind and mind consciousness after the first experience has ceased as mental formations. With this understanding, we can overcome attachment because of this understanding or wisdom. The very first experience is the dukkha satya or the noble truth of suffering. If you have attachment to the five aggregates means Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Rupa forms, Vedana feelings, Sanya perceptions, Sankhara mental formations, and Vijnana consciousness. Every moment our life means arising of these five aggregates. As first experience it arises and ceases, then immediately it ceases. Then we create new five aggregates which cling into five aggregates. With the attachment of five aggregates, the five groups of existence. That is the another thing which we can see as suffering. The attachment, that is the cause of suffering. The noble truth of the origin of suffering. And also if we can overcome this attachment with wisdom, then we have no suffering, since our mind is not fixed in material things outside or even inside something as mental formations. Then we understand, if we want to reach this understanding, we find the path, the noble eightfold path, that the noble truth of the path of suffering. With this understanding, we little by little go forward. We find the noble eightfold path. When we practice this path, then we understand Samma Sankappa, right intention, Samma Vacha, right speech, Samma Kammanta, right action, Samma Ajiva, right livelihood, Samma Vayama, right effort, Samma Sati, right mindfulness, and Samma Samadhi, right concentration. When we practice this path, in one side, we can develop positive thoughts in our mind as meritorious thoughts, as spiritual thoughts. In one side, we can create some positive thoughts in the mundane level as the result of having the understanding of the karmic law. On the other side, with the understanding of the dependent origination, little by little we practice three disciplines: Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Virtue, concentration, and wisdom, or reflecting on impermanence. This understanding belongs to Buddhist grade point average. I think, dear children, you can listen into this message again. I will send you the recording. Then again and again you can listen into this message and you can increase your knowledge by listening to Dhamma again and again. Very first experience belongs to dukkha satya, the noble truth of suffering. And also, if we don't have this understanding, we create new karma. That says Buddhism as avidya paccaya sankhara. Because of ignorance or delusion, mental formations arise. We are in the sansaric circle. If someone has this understanding, He doesn't create mental formations which consist with ignorance. Mental formations are not bad, but we usually create mental formations with ignorance, delusion, avidya. That is the fault. That is the cause of suffering. That should be realized. Buddha says the first noble truth, the noble truth of suffering should be realized. When we understand this reality, automatically we can overcome attachment or desire, greed. When we can overcome greed, automatically anger, ill will or detachment ceases. Dear children, we are discussing Buddhist Gpa, Buddhist grade point average, understanding of the Karmic Law and understanding the Four Noble Truths. The first noble truth is Dukkha Satya, the noble truth of suffering, arises in 5 aggregates. Aggregates means the foundation of our life, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Rupa means forms, Vedana feeling, Sanya perception, Sankhara mental formations, and Vijnana consciousness. These 5 things arise together, but these things are invisible. I think, dear children, you have seen icebergs in the ocean. Sometimes you have seen icebergs. When we see the icebergs, we can see only few things out of the water. But in the deep level, there are a lot of things in the iceberg. Our life also like that. The invisible thing in our life is that the 5 aggregates. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. But we see only few things. We can see our physical body, we can hear something. These are the very few things in our life, but the foundation of our life is that 5 aggregates. Understanding the Four Noble Truths, 5 aggregates, and the dependent origination are interrelated. In this situation, the more you understand this reality, the more you can increase your grade point average in Buddhism. For that, you have to listen to Dhamma again and again, by associating Bhantes, by listening to Dhamma, having advice from your parents, you can increase your Dhamma knowledge. Then you can increase your grade point average in Buddhism. Okay, dear children. Now we are going to next part, Buddhist IQ. When we have this understanding, Buddha explained the discourse of Abhinya. Buddha explains the highest qualities that a person can develop in this world are Samatha and Vipassana. They are concentration and insight meditation. I think you are wise children. If you want to increase your IQ or intelligent quotient, if you respect the Buddha, if you are confident in the Supreme Buddha, if you have faith in the Blessed One, you have to increase the duration of practicing concentration and insight meditation in your day-to-day life. Dear children, Buddha explained the path that we can gain the happiness. Our happiness completely depends on the duration of practicing concentration and insight meditation. What is the concentration meditation? Using a meditation technique, if we are able to focus our mind in the present moment with a positive thought, such as breathing meditation, loving kindness meditation, these are the techniques that we can use to concentrate our mind and increase our IQ or intelligent quotient. At the beginning, you can practice it in meditation for 5 minutes per day. Then little by little you can increase the duration. Then you can practice meditation for 10 minutes, 15 minutes and 20 minutes. Next you can increase it until 30 minutes, 1 hour like that. Closing your eyes, you contemplate on that. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. That is the way how to practice loving kindness meditation. On the other side, you can practice Buddhanusati Bhavana. My spiritual teacher, the Lord Buddha, such indeed the exalted one, Arahang, worthy, 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 worthy like that. Samma Sambuddho, supremely enlightened, supremely enlightened, supremely enlightened. Vijjacharana Sampanno, endowed with knowledge and conduct, endowed with knowledge and conduct like that. One by one, qualities of the Buddha we can contemplate on, and we can increase the duration of practicing concentration meditation for our inner peace, which is the main purpose of everyone who was born in this world. This is the first part of Buddhist IQ or intelligent quotient. The second part of Buddhist IQ is that practicing insight meditation or Vipassana Bhavana. Dear children, what is the Vipassana Bhavana or insight meditation that Buddha has explained? Insight meditation means reflecting on impermanence. Impermanence has a very special meaning in Buddhism. Usually, if I ask you, dear children, what is the meaning of impermanence? You suddenly may say that, Bhante, if something changes, that is impermanence. That is also one of the characteristics of impermanence, but it is not the real meaning about anicca or impermanence what the Buddha taught. Impermanence means, I will give you an example. Okay? When I do this sound, okay? You can hear this sound. This sound that you heard didn't come to the present from the past. This sound will not go to future from the present. This sound arises at the moment and immediately it ceases. This is the example of impermanence or anicca, what the Blessed One explained. When some reasons arise, the result arises. When those reasons cease, the result automatically ceases. Cause and effect, causality. This is the foundation of the dependent origination, Patisampada, the heart of Buddhism. Our I is impermanent. Buddha says I is impermanent means this I, the ability of seeing, arises at the moment. When we look at something, the forms arise at the moment. According to our ability of seeing, the form arises at the moment. I consciousness also arises at the moment with the conditions. Everything in this world arises and ceases at the moment according to reasons. When reasons are together, the result arises. When conditions or reasons cease, the result ceases at the moment. This is the understanding, this is the reflecting that we should do to increase our IQ, practicing impermanence or reflecting on impermanence or anicca, what the Blessed One explained. How do you practice insight meditation? When you see something, if you can understand, my I arises at the moment, Forms arise at the moment. I consciousness arises at the moment. Everything is impermanent. Everything arises and ceases at the moment. Finally, my entire life is the present moment, the present thought. That present thought arises and ceases at the moment. If you are able to contemplate on your present moment, the present thought, reflecting on impermanence, contemplating on arising and ceasing of the present thought, it means you are in Vipassana Bhavana, inside meditation. Dear children, your spirituality, your spiritual life, your value of life completely depends on the duration of reflecting on this impermanence. This is the highest way that we can gain the value of our life. This is the way how we can increase the value of our life in this world, using the knowledge of the Supreme Buddha. If we can practice this message, it means we also can gain the super knowledge, supramundane knowledge that the Buddha discovered when he attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya in India. Dear children, this is not difficult. You have done a lot of merits in your previous lives. That is why you have a chance to listen to what the Buddha taught. Therefore, please try to develop your concentration and insight meditation in your day-to-day life. Even though you are well educated, although you are very rich, even though your physical complexion is very beautiful, if your mind is polluted with negative thoughts, everything that you earn is useless. That is why we need to practice this Dhamma. You know, in the ordinary world, many people learn something, study something, earn something, finally they end their life with suffering. This is the nature of the world, but you should not do like that. You are the disciples of the Buddha. You are the followers of the Supreme Buddha. Our spiritual teacher, the Blessed One, explained the way how we can develop our happiness day by day. Even though we are going to old age, decay, aging, we can increase our inner peace, happiness, spiritual happiness. Buddha has pointed out very clearly how we can increase our inner peace day by day. Finally, even though we are very old age, even though we are very sick, even though we are very weak physically, but mentally we can make a very strong mind by practicing the Dhamma, what the Buddha explained. For that, Buddhist IQ means, in one side, increasing the duration of concentration meditation or Samatha Bhavana. The other one is practicing insight meditation or Vipassana Bhavana or reflecting on impermanence. Dear children, can you remember we explained Buddhist Gpa? Buddhist grade point average is divided into two. One of them is understanding the Karmic Law. The second one is understanding the Four Noble Truths. That is the Buddhist Gpa. What is the Buddhist IQ? Buddhist IQ means the duration of concentration meditation and insight meditation. The more you increase the duration of concentration and insight meditation, the more you increase your IQ or intelligent quotient in Buddhism. Okay? Next, we are going to Buddhist EQ or EI or emotional intelligence. This is the highest quality of the strong personality that the new psychology has presented. Especially Professor Daniel Goleman explains the qualities of emotional intelligence. This is the place that you can see your success in your educational and your earnings. There are 5 qualities can be seen here. They are self-awareness, self-regulation, inner motivation, empathy, and social skills. What they are? Self-awareness, self-regulation, inner motivation, empathy, and social skills. You know, we can see some people who are well educated, but they have no communication skills, they have no empathy. Then we don't say that they are successful. Our success completely depends on our happiness. Our happiness depends on having these 5 qualities in our life. Buddha has explained very clearly how we can increase these qualities in our life, in this immediate life. You know, when we are mindful, with the awareness of our body and mind, then we have self-awareness or self-mindfulness. This is mindfulness. Then self-regulation. When we are mindful, we have discipline in our speech and behavior. And also inner motivation. Our courage, our motivation gradually increases to practice this path, gaining knowledge, practicing Samatha and Vipassana. Then empathy, we are very sensitive because we practice loving kindness meditation. We have warm hearts, we have compassionate heart when other people are suffering. We are ready to share their problems with us and we are ready to help them. This is empathy. We pay our attention to what they say. This is the empathy. We should have empathy, especially at home when you associate your parents and brothers and sisters. You should have empathy. You should be very sensitive when they have some problems. Then you have a warm heart. You have generous. You have generosity. You are generous. You are compassionate. As the result of practicing this path, finally you have communication skills. You know, there are some people who have some connection through their cell phones, but they don't have real communication skills with their family members. But at home, we should talk with others pleasantly, kindly, honestly, truly. That is the nature of our social skills. When we practice mindfulness, being aware of our body and mind, we always contemplate on our body and mind. We always take care of our mind. Then we have these qualities. It means our EQ or emotional quotient is very high. When we spend this life with the understanding of the karmic law and the divine origination, practicing concentration and insight meditation, having mindfulness, and finally our cell phone receives SMS, Buddhist SMS, slowly, mindfully, silently. We always do all the activities very slowly, mindfully, and silently. This is the sign that we are in happiness. We have a peace of mind. This is the Buddhist path that we should practice. Now I think you can understand what I explained. Buddhist grade point average, Buddhist IQ or intelligent quotient, Buddhist emotional intelligence, and Buddhist SMS, Buddhist short message, which is slowly, mindfully, silently. Okay, dear children, if you have any question, now you can ask it. Dear Bante, okay. Dear children,
it's your time. Please turn on your microphones and then you can raise the questions.
can you repeat the list that you made? Self-awareness, self-regulation. What comes after that?
Yes, self-awareness belongs to Buddhist emotional intelligence. Self-awareness means, in Buddhism, mindfulness, being aware of our body and mind. When we do something, when we speak something, we should do it mindfully. Then we have no mistakes.
Alright, thank you.
Yes, there are 5 qualities in emotional intelligence. According to the psychology of Professor Daniel Goleman presented, self-awareness, self-regulation, inner motivation, empathy, and social skills. When we practice mindfulness in Buddhism, our inner awareness gradually increases. When we practice virtue or moral conduct in Buddhism, then our self-regulation increases. When we know the Dhamma, when we are interested in Dhamma, when we are confident in what the Buddha taught, then our energy gradually increases. It means our inner motivation is very high. When we practice loving kindness meditation, we have empathy. We are very sensitive with others. And also, as the result of this path, we have communication skills. We talk friendly. We speak kindly. We tell something as true. We should speak kindly, truly, mindfully, and friendly. These are the qualities that we can practice according to emotional intelligence in Buddhism. Okay, dear children, any question? You will have the chance to listen to this sermon again. I will send the audio file to Bhante Saddhajiva. You can receive it from Bhante. Then you can develop your knowledge, Dhamma knowledge, and you can listen to it again and again. You can develop these skills in your life. Then day by day, you can develop your inner peace, happiness. When you live in the Dhamma, it means your parents are so happy. The reason is that you are healthy mentally. Buddha says, there are a lot of people in this world, they are mentally ill. If we know the Dhamma, when we practice the Dhamma, we can live without mental illnesses among the people, those who are mentally ill. Buddha says, there are a lot of people in this world who are angry. When we learn the Dhamma, when we practice the Dhamma, when we gain the results through practicing Dhamma, we can live without anger among the people, those who are angry in this world. Finally, Buddha says, we can spend a very spiritual life like a lotus flower which comes from mud. You know, in the ponds, there are some lotus flowers. Those flowers don't touch water or mud. They have come out of water. Like that, we can live like lotus flowers in this ordinary society who has a lot of mental disorders and defilements in their mind. This is the path that we can achieve the real mental health. Mental health is more important than physical health. Buddhism points out the way how we achieve the real mental health. For that, I wish you all the best. By the power of this spiritual energy, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May your spiritual goals and especially your educational goals meet with success. By the power of all these meritorious deeds, finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkhaṃ pantāca nindukkhāṃ Bhayam pantaca nidbhayam Sokam pantaca nisokam Honto sambe pipanino. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May the Triple Gem bless you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.